Oregon is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Championship game.
This is Oregon football.
It's about them going on the field and getting better.
He's gone. He's gone. See you later. Touchdown. Ducks.
We want to play with relentless effort. We want to attack the ball at a high level.
Pressure comes. They got him again.
And I want to see those guys playing for each other.
Gives it to James again, and he may go all the way. Goes it down the middle. There's Pez Johnson. Why not just score?
These guys come to work, man. They're wired the right way. Always about hearing the message, not the tone.
There's no place like Oregon. We do it different. We're growth mindset oriented and just great people.
This is the Oregon Football Coaches Show on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by Toyota. Let's go places. Today's broadcast is also brought to you by Country Financial Insurance, protect what matters, and by Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages. Go Ducks! Drink Pepsi. Now let's go to the Country Financial Studios and talk Oregon Duck football.
It is the Toyota Coaches Show. Joey Mack here with you. We've got Dan Lanning. We've got Kobe Savage joining us today, coming off a raucous environment at Autzen Stadium. Ducks with a big win over Ohio State, and now getting ready for a Friday night matchup at Purdue. Oregon facing the Boilermakers, a 5 o'clock Pacific time kick, 8 o'clock local time, 3 o'clock pregame show for us across the Oregon Sports Network. We're here in the Country Financial Studio, and every week our coaches interview is brought to you by Pepsi and locally owned Bigfoot Beverages. Go Ducks, drink Pepsi. Filling in for Jerry Allen tonight, myself and Mike Jorgensen. With the modified week, we actually talked with Coach Lanning just a little while ago, earlier today. Sitting down with Dan Lanning in what is an interview that I think you'll enjoy after a big win over Ohio State. Okay, I'm going to ask the serious question first, Coach. You've told us before that on Wednesdays you got to think about what's in the closet. Look at that hoodie today, folks.
Not
Look
bad,
at the
and it
hoodie.
matches the shoes.
Matches the shoes.
Not bad.
Yeah,
he does think about it a little bit.
I had to start there, Coach. I mean, shout out to the equipment staff.
Shout out to Nike. Shout out to Kenny Farr for sure. Yeah.
I mean, that's how it goes. Okay, so we're gonna spend a little bit of time looking back, and then of course looking forward, Coach. Just what a weekend, huh?
Good weekend.
Yeah. Not bad.
Good weekend.
Not bad. Okay, can we have a little bit of fun first?
Sure.
Okay. So this was from post-game. I don't remember. There's a lot going on, right, Coach? You do a lot of interviews. There's conversation with the team. A lot happens post-game in any game. Okay, well, the conversation that we have live on the radio is awesome. So thank you for always doing that.
I don't even remember it.
Okay, good. So now we get to go back. So this is right when Jerry tosses down to the locker room, okay? I want you to listen to your exchange with Dusty because it made all of us smile real big in the radio booth. Scott, go ahead, play it, will you?
Coach, we talk about this every week, but 1-0, this 1-0 feels a little bit different. Is it?
I want to say no, but it's different. That was an unbelievable team that we just played. You know, and you come to Oregon to play in games like this, big moments like this.
Coach, I love the honesty on the pause.
Man, you got me.
I got you.
Eliminated the coach speak. Well done. Well done. That was fun.
Look, I mean, Coach, but in all seriousness, like, on behalf of all Oregon fans, like, just thank you for that in that moment. Like,
yeah.
I think we all felt that way. Like, we know that you want to stay neutral.
Go ahead, lie. Go ahead, say it isn't. Right. No, that was fun, man. That was different.
Yeah, it was great. Why was it different? What was different?
It's just the atmosphere itself was absolutely unbelievable from our fans. I mean, the aftermath of the game, the people taking the field, the locker room energy. I think we all knew it was a big game and it was an important game against a really, a great team. And being able to come out on the other end of that was a lot of fun.
What I like about it as much as anything is I think your opening statement at the press conference when you came in the press room was, what an atmosphere. I mean, it's the first thing you said to acknowledge the fans in that stadium because your guys went out and executed, and the coaches had a great plan, and you guys put it together. But that atmosphere was like an extra guy.
Absolutely.
I mean, it just was unbelievable.
You said to the fans to show up, scream loud.
They set the bar. They set the bar.
Yeah.
So now that's the expectation every single week.
Every single week. Coach, but can you put into words, what does it do for you? I mean, the fall starts, I guess that's one way to quantify it. Put it into words. What does it do?
Yeah, it's just, it makes it really tough on the opponent. And beyond a false start here or there, just the communication. You practice all week in kind of a sterile environment as an opposing coach. When you come to an away game, yeah, you might have noise at practice or play on the loudspeaker. There's nothing that compares to what that feels like and sounds like. The momentum in football is real, and the momentum shifts that's created by our crowd, all those things, I think, really impact the game.
And as much as we just spent the beginning of this talking about the environment and the excitement and your comments post-game, Coach, how did you keep the team neutral? Because I know that was such a big part. You don't want the big highs, big lows in a game, any game.
Yeah, I thought our players and our staff did a really good job of the most important thing we do is the next thing we do, right? The next play. And all night I think our guys had that mindset of what's the next play, what are we doing next?
Is there an adjustment period that you guys go through every game when you play another team to, you can watch them on film, but you can't simulate it till you actually get in the game as to size, speed, decisions that are made. You always feel like every game there's an adjustment period that takes.
Yeah, I think what you try to do more than anything is verify what you thought you knew, right? You're like, okay, these are our answers, and then you verify, is that the right answer? Same thing for on offense. Okay, we're anticipating this much 4 down or this much man or zone. Okay, are we verifying that information? Does our game plan still work? And if not, how do we adjust it? Okay, they're doing a little bit more man-to-man on first and second down. What changes with our plan? How do we change it? Okay, they're running a little more off tackle than we anticipated. What changes with our plan? So you kind of cross stuff off your call sheet. You maybe don't run the line stunt that you were planning on running, or you might say, hey, instead of running to the left side, we're going to run to the right side tonight. All those things.
You talked a lot this week about the preparation from the whole staff and the student athletes that go into this, Coach. I just wanted to give you a chance to talk a bit about that. Like, so many situations that you get ready for, all these different things that have come up this week. A chance to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, we visited a little bit before about the week being broken down kind of into segments and piecing all those segments together. But there's so much that shows up in a football game. As small as how you take the huddle on the sideline, and what that looks like. So you make sure you have the right personnel, on the field whenever you go out there, making sure that your openers are dialed in. And how's that compare to what, I say opener, that's the first play of a series. How's that compare to what do they do on the first play of the series and on defense or on offense, and how you game plan that, the film breakdown that's required, the people that are just taking notes during the game, right, writing down what the call was and what the adjustment was, what we mess up, and then obviously the tablets, all those things really play into it. So there's a lot of prep, there's a lot of work that goes into it for us to execute at a high level.
Each week's a new challenge, and this week, new challenge being Purdue. How's practice gone so far?
Yeah, we've had a good week of practice. Been pleased with the energy that our guys have brought. I think when you don't get a lot of time to slow down and think about the past, right, when you move into a game that you have on Friday. So our guys turned the page quick, and we're able to get, on to Purdue. And Purdue is a team that has new life. They've done, some really good things this past week with their football team. So it'll be interesting to see the team that we get to play.
Can you remind fans how the week changes with a short week on a Friday?
Yeah, we eliminate a Monday. So we really went in on our Monday practice, and it was a Tuesday right away for us. So today is technically – what day is today?
Thursday.
Right.
I mean, it's actually Wednesday.
Right. Yeah. The actual day is Wednesday, but for me it's Thursday, that's why I'm a little confused. But it's Thursday for us.
Do you guys? I think we should just come up with other names for days. Like, don't call it Wednesday or Thursday. Just what it's
the third day.
The third day.
Yeah. We eliminate the first day whenever we play on a short week.
So Jerry's not here because he showed up yesterday. Right?
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Mean,
or
the
tomorrow.
wrong day, or whichever one it was.
Yeah.
So.
No, I'm with that. You mentioned that Purdue has other life, Coach. I'm curious in that preparation phase, like. They've had a new quarterback, they've a new play caller. Just how does the film breakdown change? When
it's a challenge. So you just talked about what do you do in the beginning of a game? What's that look like? And this is going to be a big game when it comes to verification of what are they trying to do? How are they trying to attack us? And how can we make sure that we're balanced? Coach Walters is taking over play calling duties on the offense, and you could see a little bit different picture, a little bit different team in the way he called it and how they played on offense, and it showed up this past week. Defense is still kind of holding true to their colors and what they've done in the past, but there's a change there. So there'll be some time for us there'll be an adjustment period. There'll be some time for us to figure out, okay, is this what we thought it would be?
Another adjustment, haven't traveled outside the time zone. So now we head east and kind of that first, what feels like that first true Big Ten road trip.
Yeah.
UCLA kind of felt like a Pac-12 game on the West Coast. Right. Changes on that, how you adjust to those pieces of it, if you do.
Yeah, there's some adjustments, there's some changes, but we kind of have a mapped out plan for each game based on game time. How do we travel? What's it look like? And how do we adjust? So we have some small changes, but nothing that I'd share here. Yeah.
Oregon football head coach Dan Lanning with us. It's the Toyota Coaches Show. More coming in the Country Financial studio after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear Autumn Leaves,
You won't be covering roads alone this season. Take on fall in the powerful Toyota Tundra or tackle trails in a Tacoma. Head to Toyota.com for more info. Toyota, let's go places.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Dear autumn leaves, you won't be covering roads alone this season. Take on fall in the powerful Toyota Tundra or tackle trails in a Tacoma. Head to Toyota.com for more info. Toyota, let's go places.
More Duck football comes your way in 60 seconds.
Turns and gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Oregon. Touchdown, Ducks.
On the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
My son, Ricky, took his life by the use of a firearm. It broke me, and I contemplated suicide. My grandson, I was gonna have to be here for him. I still own my firearm. I keep it in a safe because I want to keep my grandson and myself safe.
Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
This message is for Shauna, my mom who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You told me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Back inside the Country Financial Studio, it is the Toyota Coaches Show, talking with Oregon football head coach Dan Lanning, and every week it's brought to you by our friends at Pepsi and locally owned Bigfoot Beverages. Go Ducks, drink Pepsi. Continuing with Oregon football head coach Dan Lanning ahead of Friday night kickoff against Purdue. You know, Coach, Marcus Harper did mention, though, just the importance of sleep.
Right.
You know, when you're crossing time zones, the importance of hydration. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes into this that isn't necessarily on the football field, right?
That's right. Yeah, you have to prep a certain way.
Yeah, I thought it was fascinating just hearing Marcus, and that's the veteran. Do you find that with players that develop, is it those sorts of things that maybe change the most from an 18 to a 22, 23-year-old?
Yeah, I think that understanding the process, what your rhythm is, you know, how do you get yourself prepared for a game? You know, the longer you play, the more you kind of get comfortable with what that needs to look like.
And the more you've played together as a unit, offensive, defensive, special teams, whatever it is, going into this game, you guys were confident that you could run the ball, you could throw the ball, that you had the matchups that you wanted. And it looked like to me the confidence of the group and the way that they've played together put you guys in that position.
Yeah,
running the ball, passing the ball the way you did.
Yeah, I think you build confidence through prep. And I thought we had a great week of prep, and that showed up.
Talking about some of those deep balls that you hit too, Coach. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What can that do for your offense?
Yeah, I mean, we always come in here and talk about explosive plays, right? And, you know, again, they probably were able to stay a little bit more in rhythm on their offense, but our offense was probably able to create a little bit more from an explosive play standpoint. So those added up and made a difference.
You know, and on that point, I wanted to borrow the analogy that a lot of folks have used over the last week, and maybe to put it in context of the whole season, jabs and haymakers.
That's right.
I mean, the boxing match. Well, a 12-round boxing match in a game. Now a 12-round boxing match over the course of a season, Coach. I mean, you're at the halfway point in the season. What is your overall assessment of how the boxing match is going for you and your entire schedule?
Well, I think we've grown, right? And that's the part that I'm looking for the most, is that we're not taking steps backward, you know, each week. That we're, you know, if we're making mistakes, we're making new mistakes and things that we can fix. But I think we're a much better team today than we were when we started this season, and I think we've grown every single week.
Your offensive line seems to have grown too. The way that they're cohesively playing together in a type of, I think 6 or 7 sacks first couple of games, not one since then. And against Ohio State, fantastic. What's been kind of the secret to that sauce right there?
Yeah, I mean, just getting comfortable with each other. I think that it's also been a good job by our coaching staff of making sure that we're putting ourselves in great situations as well, and Dylan making good decisions and taking some ownership, and that's not letting that happen.
We can't not talk about how Dylan managed the game.
Yeah.
I know you've talked about it this week quite a bit, but the way that he managed that didn't put anything really in harm's way in big games, which he's played in, certainly helps in that type of deal. But just, again, the comments overall about his performance.
Yeah, I'm just really impressed with Dylan's performance. Thought he made great decisions all night. Thought he was a difference for us. Thought he made some big-time throws. And I thought his demeanor throughout the game was awesome.
You touched on this before about how experience is so valuable, Coach, and just what that means for you. How about now the experience of this season? I mean, you talk about that for Dylan Gabriel, for everybody, just – how much experience have you gained so far over the course of this year?
Yeah, I mean, a good amount, right? about half of the experience you need for the season. So it's been good. But there's people right now that maybe haven't played a lot of meaningful snaps for us that will still end up playing a lot of meaningful snaps for us before the season's over with. That's just how football goes.
Right.
Talk about how you moved guys around into different positions or different combinations with the absence of Jordan Birch.
Yeah,
there's some guys that really stepped forward.
Yeah, and we had to have some guys step forward. But that goes back to, again, how do you prep and how do you work, and guys working in multiple roles. But yeah, I think all of our players and our defense in particular, took it like, hey, we have to step up for this guy. He means a lot to us. We get an opportunity to go out there and play, and the standard doesn't change just because he was in the game.
We're talking with Kobe Savage here coming up on the show, Coach.
Yeah.
Tell us about him. What's been like working with Kobe so far?
Kobe's awesome, man. He, same demeanor every single day. Always comes to work. He likes playing the game, the way it's meant to be played. A physical player, headhunter. You guys will remember the spring getting dinged in the spring game because he's out there trying to smack folks all the time. So I appreciate the way he comes to attack it each day.
And in a game like that, the physicality was really key.
Yeah. And how about the entire secondary, Coach? Just development-wise, what do you want to see moving forward?
Yeah, just that. Continue to grow, continue to develop, present challenges to ourselves about what we can accomplish out there on the field. But I think they've owned it so far this season.
Where have you seen special teams grow?
Well, I think the biggest thing is there's been some big wins for us this season, and we always talk about special teams changing the game, and there's been plays in special teams this year that have absolutely changed the game, whether it's a punt return, a kickoff return, an onside, or a squib kick that bounces off of a player. Like, all those things have really added up.
That was good
or chasing guys down the field, too.
Yeah,
whether it's the block, whether it's the extra point.
Yeah, there's been some ways that we almost changed the game the wrong way, too, right?
That's also, I'm glad you brought that up, though, Coach. I mean, on an extra point that doesn't go your way, you still ran the guy down.
Yeah, unbelievable effort from Basso and Kenyon Sadiq there, and a good learning moment for us. So that's a mistake I hope we don't see again from us this season.
Yeah, and then of course, you got to shout out to when you have a squib that hits a guy, Coach. That's hard to do, right?
Well, I mean, what else do specialists do all practice?
I guess.
I mean, they're not out there practicing tackling,
It's
right?
good target practice.
Absolutely. So, I mean, that's something we were really intentional about. We always talk about, after a penalty and having the ball at the 50-yard line, I think one of the biggest mistakes coaches make is they just kick the ball out of the end zone and take a touchback.
Sure.
And that's not really advantageous when you have field position. To me, it's an opportunity to try to flip the field. So that's something we worked all week and felt strong about. And if it hadn't hit a player, you end up still squibbing the ball and giving a ball that's hard to field with an opportunity to pin him inside
It's
the 20.
something that's practiced, though.
Right.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, and to that point, Coach, I mean, we've talked about these situations and the way that you really value special teams. I got to think for any recruit that's listening to this right now is like, hey, if I'm a specialist, I love a head coach like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they get to eat first, too, for us. Special teams is a priority, so they're the first guys getting meals on game day.
There you go. I love that.
Little things mean a lot, don't they?
Little things do mean a lot. Coach, I have to tell you that my wife was really appreciative of your conversation on the Dan Patrick Show this morning as someone who also has about 37 alarms on her phone to wake up.
That's right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I can't believe you revealed that, Coach.
I mean, they asked the question. I felt like I had to be honest.
As long as you're up on time, though, right?
There's like the cutoff time where I have to, I know I'm rolling, So
do you have an alarm for, I couldn't tell when you were scrolling through real fast on the camera. Do you have an alarm every 5 minutes that you can turn on and off?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I don't turn them all on. It's just about when do I want to start them and when do they finish. Right. And I never get to the last one. I'm always up and rolling. But yeah, I kind of break my way in.
What's the ringtone?
Each one's different.
Okay.
It's a matter of when I set it. There's some of your just standard alarms, but some of them are songs. It depends.
So this has been an ongoing debate.
Quick problem when you pick a song, you usually pick a song and you're like, this is my favorite song. Right. And then all of a sudden it becomes your least favorite song.
You don't hear that.
Like, I love that
or
song.
Your wife's least favorite song, right?
Yeah.
No, I can identify. So the alarm that I use, there's been a long debate for me. You know the one that sounds like the nuclear alarm's going off?
Give me the sound.
Burr, burr,
yeah.
burr.
Got it.
That's my alarm in the morning.
Yeah.
I just want to, if I'm not waking up naturally,
and you
I
just set one.
One, and then I'm up.
I'm embarrassed that I set more than one. I mean,
but it works for you.
It is what it is.
It works for you.
It is what it is.
Yeah. This is the stuff that you come to the coach's show for.
This is the most important. That's right.
This is the most important. Well, Coach, thanks so much for taking the time. But what did we miss today? What else should fans know after a great weekend and the week ahead?
I think you guys are on it. I think you guys are spot on. There's nothing that you missed. I mean, we're excited about this next one.
Yeah.
This is going to be a lot of fun for us, and it presents a great challenge with us getting to go on the road and not just be a next-door trip, right? It's going to be a little bit of a trip for us, but a great chance for us to grow and become a better team.
And a quarterback on the other team, you don't have a lot of film to be able
to
break down,
I'll tell you this. He's athletic, and he can throw the ball. He had a lot of success, and again, he's a challenge, so it's going to be fun for us.
Coach, thanks for the time.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Dan Lanning, Oregon football head coach. Toyota Coaches Show continues. Kobe Savage, a veteran. We're talking with the defensive back for the Ducks after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear autumn leaves, you won't be covering roads alone this season. Take on fall in the powerful Toyota Tundra or tackle trails in a Tacoma. Head to Toyota.com for more info. Toyota, let's go places.
Wherever you are in life, once a duck, always a duck. That's OCCU. Since 1956, OCCU has helped the University of Oregon community take flight financially, like our remarkable checking and duck debit card that give Duck fans more for the things they care about, more for the game, more for gear, more for a bright future. Earn interest, show your Duck devotion, and start earning more today. Learn more at myoccu.org/getduckdebit.
Dear autumn leaves, you won't be covering roads alone this season. Take on fall in the powerful Toyota Tundra or tackle trails in a Tacoma. Head to Toyota.com for more info. Toyota, let's go places.
Football the way you like it.
Woo! That was some football.
The Oregon Ducks on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never, ever become a minivan mom. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, know it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
August was born 3 pounds, 9.8 ounces. When I first saw him, it was a whole range of emotions. There's stuff I still want to do. Being a young dad, it's not giving up. It's shifting. I looked through his eyes. I envisioned a whole future with him already. To throw the first football to him, give him ice cream for the first time. My life is now devoted to his life.
Through all of fatherhood's firsts, never stop being a dad. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
We're in the Country Financial Studio. It's the Toyota Coaches Show, and earlier today I sat down with Kobe Savage, a veteran for the Ducks, getting to know Kobe Savage a bit. We always start with a tradition. Did anybody warn you?
No.
Good! Kobe Savage is here, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
It's a tradition.
So there's a whiteboard over there that has your 2-minute life story, okay? We're competitive. You want to get as close to 2 minutes as possible. Okay?
Okay.
As close to 2 minutes as possible. I got the stopwatch ready for the 2-minute life story. Ready?
So, okay, so I have to, tell my life story, but make sure I'm hitting 2 minutes.
Yes. The goal is as close to 2 minutes as possible. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not like, you're better if it's at 30 seconds. No, we want 2 minutes.
Okay.
All right?
2 minutes.
2-minute life story, go.
All right. I grew up in a small town, Silver Springs, born and raised with my mom and all of my cousins. Grew up playing football at an early age, 4, flag football. My Mimi signed me up, actually. My mom and dad wanted me to play basketball. And I was very, aggressive. So as soon as I can get in the pads, my Mimi allowed me to do that. My family would take me to practices all the way in 2 towns over. Cumbie, a town of maybe like, I want to say 700 people. Grew up loving that. Did a lot of track. Did track in high school. I got third at state. 300-meter hurdles actually, and I hated the race. I just was good at it. What else? Wasn't recruited highly out of high school. Went to a Division II Commerce. They're actually a D1 now. Walked on to a junior college. Earned a full scholarship. Had All-American season. Went to Kansas State. Had pretty good 2 years there, all conference. And then now I'm in Eugene. Met a girl at K-State, and we've been hitting at it ever since. She goes to Nebraska. She went to Nebraska. Great girl. Have two brothers, or I have a brother and a sister, and then a stepbrother and a little stepsister, Aiden and Cadence. And yeah.
Minute 19.
Oh, I knew it was a little fast. I knew it was a little too fast.
But look, I say this all the time. At your age, 2 minutes is tough.
Yeah.
When you've been doing this for a few more years, right, that story starts to fill up, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for doing that. The reason I do that, I can read your bio, like we can tell you, oh, you came from Kansas State, but I don't know what you're proud of, and I want to ask you first about your Mimi. Is that why you're playing football?
Yes, my Mimi, it's actually crazy. She was raised, she had an older brother and a younger brother, so she was always tough. Her dad, she talks about a lot, was really tough. She always comes to the games. Her and my grandfather actually drove 30 hours to go to the Ohio State game.
No kidding.
30 hours.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out.
Yeah.
That's outstanding.
Yeah, so they've been to every game. They drove to whenever I played at Iowa. They ride Harley Davidson, so they drove. So she's like a really tough lady, and just like
I love this so much.
She taught me to be tough early on. But yeah, she was the reason I got to start playing football. My mom and dad were basketball players, and they didn't want me to have anything to do with it at first.
Wow.
Yeah.
So on behalf of all Duck fans, thank you for that, right? So your parents were basketball fans? Like they just wanted you to play basketball? What was going on there?
Yeah, my dad, he was really good at basketball. And my mom, she loved basketball. That's actually who I was named after, Kobe Bryant. That's my namesake. Right. And so yeah, they were really into basketball. But my Mimi and I say my grandfather, her husband, they like football a lot. So yeah.
And then it all turned out. So now you had a journey too, like you touched on it, right? Where not the high recruit out of high school. Now you're here playing at the University of Oregon.
Yep.
Why'd you love football so much to go through all the different paths that you've been on?
Man, yeah, like it's just a passion early on. I felt like just being able to be out there with my friends outside of school. Like I knew there was no homework involved. I can just run around and have fun and play catch with my guys. So like yeah, it developed early on, and just seeing my family be so happy and proud of me out there, it just was like a serotonin boost for me. So just throughout the years, it just kept growing and growing, and then the crowds got bigger and bigger. So I fell in love with it every single time I got out there.
That's awesome. Kobe Savage joining us. All right, this might be the most obvious question and probably the number one thing that you've gotten asked forever. You know you're on the all-name team, right?
Yeah.
I mean, right? Like,
yeah.
This is the greatest name in the history of football that you're working with for your last name.
Yes, sir.
You agree?
Yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy hearing it.
It's so good. I mean, like, so at a young age, were you like, yeah, no, this fits?
I actually have a crazy story. So, like I said, when I played Cumbie, I was really little. I didn't even think much of my last name. I was just a kid, and I just remember this. It's always stuck with me. I'll never forget the man. It was one of my Pee Wee coaches. The first year I ever got to play Pop Warner, he said, Kobe Savage. He's like, man, you have to play football. You have to play with us. And I was like, oh, yeah. And he kept telling me that was a football name. So ever since then, it stuck with me. And now, like, people are saying it a lot. So it's really cool to, like, see it all come into fruition.
You know, I hope that that you'll get a kick out of this, because one of my buddies actually said this. He was like, dude, the name Kobe Savage sounds like the person I create in Madden that has an awesome name.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it does. It does.
That's outstanding. Okay, so if you weren't playing football, would it be basketball? I take it wouldn't be track and field because you said you didn't like running hurdles?
I don't know about basketball. I don't think – I mean, I'm sure height doesn't matter, but I'm not, like, you know what I'm saying, dunking on anybody or anything like that. I'd probably – to be honest, like I really enjoy fishing, so I'd probably be doing something like that. I know, like K-State had a bass fishing team, so I mean, I might have been doing that in college or something.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's outstanding. So the Oregon connection there. There's a very famous video where Jerry Allen, who's been the voice of the Ducks for almost 4 decades now, Jerry and D'Anthony Thomas went fishing together.
Really?
I think it's time to recreate it, Scott. It's time to recreate it.
Let's do it.
We get a fishing trip in one of these days.
Go out trout fishing.
Now, Why Oregon? Why'd you end up choosing to come here?
Yeah, I mean, going into this past season at Kansas State, I felt like I had a really good or a solid season. Just trying to replicate what I did the year before, and then I just saw the success Oregon was having with safeties, and like how they had Evan Williams playing everywhere, and Steve and Tashim, and I just wanted to take a look out and just really get into a different defense that would like suit me for the NFL, that would translate very well to the NFL. And I asked former teammates from K-State like how they transitioned, preferably in the defensive back spot, and they were telling me they did well, but it just would have helped a lot more to be in different schemes and for scouts to see you like that. And Coach Tosh and Coach Hamp like reassured me that like coming to a scheme like this would definitely like improve draft stock as long as I just played well and trusted in the scheme.
Yeah, I think that's so cool to hear because like there's all obviously around here, you know, it's the swoosh and it's all these things and it's relationships with coaches, but even the future projectability, you know, like I don't know, I just think that's cool to hear that factored into your decision so much. And then from a scheme perspective, I imagine this defense is fun to play in. That's the vibe that I'm getting just talking to you.
Oh, yeah, it definitely is. I mean, we definitely have a lot of checks and a lot of calls, and it may be confusing like when you first get here, but it definitely is fun whenever you understand what's going on around you and all the different moving puzzle pieces.
Quick timeout with Kobe Savage here in the Country Financial Studio. More of the Toyota Coaches Show after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Wherever you are in life, once a duck, always a duck. That's OCCU. Since 1956, OCCU has helped the University of Oregon community take flight financially, like our remarkable checking and duck debit card that give duck fans more for the things they care about, more for the game, more for gear, more for a bright future. Earn interest, show your duck devotion, and start earning more today. Learn more at myoccu.org/getduckdebit.
More gridiron action in 1 minute.
Gonna throw. Oh, what a play for the middle. Touchdown, Oregon.
Coming your way on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Back on the Toyota Coaches Show, Joey Mack here in the Country Financial Studio, continuing our conversation with the Duck DB, Kobe Savage. I've said this before, and I'm curious your perspective about how the defensive back group as a whole has changed. I think that you all have to be some of the most versatile athletes on the field.
Sure.
You're asked to do so many different things. Do you agree with that, like from a football perspective, that you just have to be so versatile?
Yes, sir, most definitely, especially in this day and age in college football. Like you see, you got coaches like Chip Kelly out there just dialing different formations up, so you don't know whether or not you'll be in a position where you're like a linebacker or playing man, such as a slot corner would, or even fitting up an edge like an outside linebacker. So yeah, especially at safety, being some of the most versatile guys out on the field.
And then tackling in space. I mean, how big of a deal is that for your position?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I feel like you're graded as a safety, not only on that, but definitely man coverage and, like you said, open field tackling.
All right, I've asked this before, but what makes a good safety?
What makes a good safety? I say someone who's not afraid like a linebacker would be, and someone who could also just play the middle of the field. To me, that's a great safety, and just instincts. Like, in my opinion, I mean, there's definitely great safeties all around, but Troy Polamalu is like my favorite, and it's just being instinctive and not scared to hit anybody.
Yeah, and similar hair though. As well, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm curious too, because like Troy Polamalu, I feel like is the example of being able to do so many different things. I get that's what you're kind of alluding to, right?
Yes, sir. Like a Swiss Army knife, being able to play man, zone, fit in the box, open field tackling, like you said, and also being able to roam the field in the post.
All right, I want to pause on the breakdown of football and scheme for a second and just ask you. I know we're looking ahead a bit, but give me like 5 minutes on just the atmosphere that you just played in. What was that like at Autzen this weekend?
Amazing. Like Kansas State, obviously they sold out a lot of games. It had amazing fan base, but man, like I couldn't compare that to any other game I've ever been at. Like it was all 4 quarters. Like you seen the false starts that we got. Like having that is like a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Like being able to play a great game like that with a big fan base, and then at the very end of the game, I just threw my helmet up and just see like a wave of like black just coming after me, and I was like, wow, like it's just, I don't know, it's good. And then everybody came out and telling us that they loved us and they enjoyed the game. It was really a blessing. So I enjoyed it. It's slim to none. Like I couldn't compare that to nothing ever.
When you have that much noise and you're out there on the field, what's that like for people that can't experience it? We've never been in that situation. What's it like?
It's I don't even know how to explain it. It's like just a noise you hear, like an echo or like just like a wave of heat you're feeling on your body, and it just makes you want to go harder, like especially on a third down when you're like pumping up the crowd and you hear them just gradually get louder and louder and louder. It's an amazing feeling. It just feels like everybody there is there to support you and be there for you.
How crucial is communication? So, I mean, like I know I'm asking that sort of tongue-in-cheek here, talking about a great environment. How big of a deal is it, though?
It's huge. I mean, especially, like you said, at home games because the crowd's loud. They're trying to throw off the opponent's offense. So it's huge signals, making sure all the defensive backs and linebackers, like we're all like a part of a puzzle piece, and we're all reacting off the offense. So we definitely have to be major communicators. So, yeah, that's the key of our defense is communication.
And then I imagine, too, and I feel like, again, back to what we saw this past weekend, I mean, the back and forth, Kobe, right? Like so many lead changes, so many momentum swings. What was that like as a player, and how do you handle that momentum swinging as a player?
Yeah, just really honing in on whatever we had messed up on, like whether it was something that we gave them or that we didn't catch on that we let them have. So really just staying neutral. Like Coach Lanning that whole week was telling us about not getting too high on making a play and not getting too low on missing a play. So just staying neutral and keeping that mindset on whatever comes next is whatever we're going to make best of. So
that's tough.
Yeah,
it's tough to do.
It is tough.
Right? Now, you're a veteran. You've played in some big-time games. What do you tell the younger guys on how to actually do that, how to stay neutral over the course of a week, of a game, of a season even?
Yeah, because initially, like, it was hard for me, like, to, like, not picture, oh, we got College Game Day here, we got Nick Saban here, we got all the busting with the boys guys here, like, just to watch you play football. But at the end of the day, it's just a game. Like, it's the same thing you did last week compared to this week, and not to make it bigger than what it is. I mean, obviously it was definitely a big game, but just not make it any bigger than what it is. Continue your routine, continue all the things that you're doing in practice, and everything will take its place.
Coach Lanning was really complimentary just a little bit ago on the way that the team attacks the next play, right? The next play, the next play. Now, that being said, there's things that are adjustments in-game. The tablets have changed the way, I'm sure. Well, maybe I'll start there. Like, how has that changed it for a veteran like you?
Man, it's good. It's definitely amazing. Like, I won't say it's bad at all. The only thing that, like, kind of just sucks, we were joking about this, is that, like, say you do mess up on a play, you'll see it on the tablet.
You see it right away.
Yeah, and Coach is on you. And then, like, you know on Sunday you're going to come back in and watch it again. So it's like, I already know what it looks like. But, no, it's definitely, like you said, a blessing, like being able to communicate and actually see how you're moving with this play and being able to check out of it. So, yeah, I feel like it's helped us tremendously as a defense.
Over the course of a game, you're feeling out the opposing offense, right? How does that process change for you over the course of a game? Like, you get some tendencies. How does it morph and change?
Yeah, like you'll see a lot of formations come up, whether that's them dressing it up and stuff, like we said with the tablets, and the tendencies just come and go. Like with Chip Kelly, we knew there was going to be a lot of different wrinkles coming out there, and UCLA did the same thing, and so did Oregon State, being manufacturers of his offense. So, yeah, like just being able to see those same tendencies, the same formations, and trying to diagnose it just a little bit quicker than you would.
All right. Now, a bigger picture question. Advice for a 17-year-old you. You got the chance right now. Go back in time. Talk to 17-year-old Kobe. What are you telling him?
17-year-old Kobe. Just really stick to the process. Like, it's going to be a long journey. I mean, stick to the process, weather the storm. Like, just continue to work hard because the journey to get to where I'm at today from when I was 17 was long, and it was every bump and hill on the road. But I'm blessed, obviously, to be where I'm at and to go through all the things. So just stick to it and keep your head down and keep working.
That's good advice. Tough in practice, though, I'd imagine, right?
Yes, sir. Most definitely. Yes, sir.
You're going to hit a couple speed bumps, but that's cool, right? Okay, I wanted to ask you, too, about the coaches that you work with so closely. What's it like playing for these guys?
It's different. There are a lot of energetic guys, funny guys. Like I've had a coach like Coach Hamp, my junior college coach, but Coach Tosh and Lanning, like the most intense, but they really do care, and they want to see the best version of you. Like whether that's calling you out in front of the whole team, like they're gonna put it on display that they really care about you. And man, they're just intense. You can tell that they were NFL caliber guys that. Like, it's just crazy to know that they worked for Nick Saban and Kirby Smart, and they led, like, some of the best defenses of my time for sure. And, yeah, it just makes you want to go harder because you want to be a part of the best. Like, you want to do the best.
You know, I think that's awesome perspective, too, from somebody. You strike me as someone who's, like, a student of the game. And you talked about your love of football growing up. Have you always been that way? Like, you've always kind of been, like, the student of the game, always wanting to learn?
Yeah, I'd say I picked that up like my freshman year of high school. Like I always looked up to the older guys and just wanted to see what they saw, just so I could just be like an inch or somewhere near greatness, a little bit better than I was before. So just like trying to pick different guys' brains. Yes, sir.
We've got more to come with Kobe Savage. Stick around on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear Autumn Leaves, you won't be covering roads alone this season. Take on fall in the powerful Toyota Tundra or tackle trails in a Tacoma. Head to Toyota.com for more info. Toyota, let's go places.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Dear Autumn Leaves, you won't be covering roads alone this season. Take on fall in the powerful Toyota Tundra or tackle trails in a Tacoma. Head to Toyota.com for more info. Toyota, let's go places.
There's more Duck football around the corner.
Got him deep. He's open. He's got it. And he's gone. 10-5. Touchdown, Oregon.
60 seconds away on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
I'm coming home to the place that I remember. Back to the land of my first love. Would you spread
Toyota Coaches Show continues. Joey Mack here with you in the Country Financial Studio tonight and wrapping up our conversation with Kobe Savage, Duck defensive back, meeting with us here. I was talking about this a little bit too, and you talk about like a veteran presence. Marcus Harper said like how important sleep is this week and things like that. How does a short week change for you?
Man, it's definitely a toll on your body, especially going through a brutal game like Ohio State. So yeah, like Marcus said, definitely sleep, recovery. Like I said, I just got that massage. It was amazing. I needed that.
Wait, inside the broadcast, literally, Kobe just came down from getting a massage. Bravo. That's self-care, right?
Yes,
That's
sir.
taking care of your body.
Yes, sir. And another thing is actually a strength coach, Coach Bolton. He works up here. Was telling me like taking care of your feet because your feet are like the base of you, and making sure like getting pedicures and getting them taken care of. So yeah.
The last thing you want, seriously, I know players that have had like turf toe, but even just like a toenail that gets messed up, right? That sucks.
Yes, it does. I actually have one right now as we speak. It's hanging off, like the nail is hanging off. It's at the base of it. But yeah, but making sure your feet are taken care of is the like one of the biggest things. It connects your whole body, and yeah, basically.
Have you heard this before? And it's fitting. Here we are at the University of Oregon, which is like shoe university, right?
Mm-hmm.
That you always spend money between the things that separate you and the ground.
Yeah.
Shoes, tires, and a bed.
Yeah.
It's good advice.
Yes, sir.
It's good advice from a strength coach. You know, one thing too, like, do you have advice for younger players that have maybe they're still developing in their careers and understanding just the things that go into the off the field prep? That's kind of what we're talking about here.
Yeah. Like I said, just recovery for sure. I mean, my first year at Kansas State, I took getting the cold tub seriously, but I didn't take like stretching and stuff like that. So I'd have a lot of soft tissue injuries, which is easily preventable, I feel like, to the younger guys. So definitely make sure you're stretching and taking care of your body, and then film. Like, you can be a slow guy running I wouldn't even say slow. You could be a guy that runs a 4.8 and then a guy that runs a 4.4. You're running 4.4 in the wrong direction, you know what I'm saying, and 4.8 in the right. So just making sure you're understanding the game and taking care of your body for sure.
How about your entire defensive backfield? Just what's it been? You're smiling as I'm asking you this question. Like, what's it been like playing with this group of guys?
Man, it's really fun. It's a whole bunch of vets out there that have proven themselves at this level and at other schools, and it's just like I trust them. Like I don't even have to look to that side and make sure he's doing it right or making sure anything. All I have to do is make sure he gets the call. And even if he doesn't, like, I know he'll just play man, we'll be good. But, yeah, guys like Jabbar, Tysheem, Dante Manning, Nico Reed, Brandon Johnson, like, it's different. Like, when you look around and it's like, wow, like, all these guys are NFL caliber guys that are going to do their job and play their heart out for me, and I'm going to do the same for them. So it's amazing.
You know, and I feel like the entire defensive backfield is such a great example of like modern college football. You from the transfer portal, right? Like others that have kind of grown up at Oregon or transferred and then been here now for a few years for fans to get to know. Like, how empowering is that, I guess, for you as a student athlete now to be in this era where you have the ability to make these sorts of changes in your life?
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, like I said, I was just doing it for myself, obviously trying to get my draft potential up and then have an amazing season here, like bring something to Oregon that it hasn't seen in a while. And, yeah, it's a blessing being able to just mend myself in with this culture here and with the fan base. It's been nothing but awesome. Like, I mean, it's surreal to say that I play for Oregon and that I'm a Duck.
I have to come back a little bit full circle. So you mentioned that your grandparents are Harley riders.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, did the fact that the Duck comes out on a Harley, like, that had to influence your decision, right?
My grandpa was definitely excited when he was excited. I didn't even know like that was a big tradition. I obviously watched Oregon football throughout the years, but I guess I never just pay attention to the intro. But yeah, it's really cool, especially like when we're in the tunnel, like it's getting quiet and then it gets loud. You hear the revving and the smoke clears out, and I see the Duck. It's really cool.
What was that feeling like when you ran out of the tunnel for the first time?
Crazy, because I played the NCAA game,
right,
and I never really got to see the Oregon like run out or anything. So I was playing the game, and it looked just like the game. I told my friend, I was like, it feels like I'm in the game out here.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Now, gamer?
Nah, I just wanted to play that because I was in it,
right.
But I'm not a gamer at all.
See, I here I was about to give you credit. I bet you're one of the best on the team. No, I don't. Didn't even get the chance. We've heard Tysheem's really good.
Yeah, he is. He beat me. I played him. See, I'll play them NCAA, but yeah, I'll tell you who's not good. Who's the worst? Like, hands down, the worst player on the team is Tez Johnson. He is not good. You would think he was good. You would think he's good at the game, but he's not. Tysheem and Rod Pleasant, they're like two of the best. Everybody else.
What's hilarious about that is just a couple months ago, Tez said in an interview that he was really good.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
This is the. It's seriously, I loved that dynamic with Kobe Savage. So awesome getting to know Kobe Savage. Great stuff. I can't thank him enough for taking his time. Hey, taking care of himself. Got the treatment. got a massage, came down, talked with us here in the Country Financial Studio. He and the Ducks in action against Purdue. Our final game preview and keys when we come back on the Toyota Coaches Show right here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy.
Never.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Ma, is this how you feed a hamster?
I think so.
Is my homework right?
I think so.
Is, this milk still good?
I think so.
When it comes to parenting, sometimes it's okay to think you know. But when it's something as important as your child's car seat, don't just think. Know. Double check if your child is in the right seat for their age and size. It'll help protect them in a car crash. Don't just think. Know by visiting nhtsa.gov/the right seat. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey, so what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You know you make me wanna kick my heels up and throw my hands up and throw my head back and come on now.
Speaking of shout, this weekend, for all the Duck fans that are at Purdue with Oregon on Friday night, what are you going to do when shout kicks on? Because Purdue plays shout also. Also, this was cool. Comment on Facebook. Duck fan here from Kentucky attending our first Oregon game at Purdue on Friday. That's awesome. You know, that's the coolest thing maybe of all of the conference realignment is here we are playing in different parts of the country and different fans get to come and get to watch the Ducks play in person. So cool. Looking forward to a cool environment. Under the Friday night lights, Oregon visiting Purdue. The Boilermakers, a team that might play two quarterbacks. We'll see what happens depending on the availability of Hudson Card. And then Ryan Brown played well, especially in the second half last week. You talked with Coach Lanning. We talked with Coach Lanning earlier. Ryan Walters, head coach, called plays last week. A heartbreaking loss for Purdue where the Boilermakers went for two, tried to upset Illinois, didn't get it. Illinois ends up winning. I think Purdue's maybe a little different looking team now. Different play caller. Offense is a little bit different. I actually talked to Kobe Savage off the air about this, that just maintaining those keys. And you hear the Ducks all the time talk about consistency. The Ducks were looking for that consistency, trying to always find that consistency. And especially coming off a high at Autzen Stadium, now going on the road. And talking with Marcus Harper this week, I thought that the offensive lineman, the veteran for the Ducks, and talking with Kobe Savage, Coach Lanning about this again tonight, I thought that Marcus Harper was really on point by saying, hey, it's important that you get some sleep. It's important that you hydrate on long flights. Just things like that off the field can really impact a short week where the Ducks now are traveling tomorrow and then taking on Purdue under those Friday night lights. A 5 o'clock Pacific time kickoff, 8 o'clock local time. That means a 3 o'clock Pacific time pregame show for us across the Oregon Sports Network. Awesome momentum for the Ducks right now. One of the best teams in the country. As Coach Lanning always says, though, the next one is the biggest one, and that's Purdue coming up. For Jerry Allen, filling in for him tonight. Also for Mike Jorgensen, my thanks to Kobe Savage. My thanks to Coach Lanning for joining us here on the Toyota Coaches Show tonight. Ashley Gentry in the OSN studio. Scott Phillips always directing the show. See you Friday night.
This has been the Oregon Football Coaches Show on the Oregon Sports Network from presented by Toyota. Let's go places. Tonight's show has also been brought to you by Country Financial Insurance. Protect what matters. And by Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages. Go Ducks. Drink Pepsi. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.